30th of July 2020. Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel market update, and we are post FOMC. We are post German GDP, ahead of the US GDP weekly jobless claims, and ahead of the strong team when it comes to the earnings reports, the big tech names later today. So without the further delay, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the particular charts. Okay, folks, let's start with the DAX because we just got the German GDP number, and it's weaker than what market was expecting. The market expectations was -9, and we got -10.1 quarter to quarter, -11.7 versus expectations 11.3 when it comes year to year. So a little bit weaker, but we've seen the colder sentiment already at the beginning of the session. We've seen a little bit stronger dollar post FOMC. So we know what we got when it comes to the German GDP. Let's get back for a second to the yesterday FOMC. Well, as expected, nothing extraordinary they were able to do, besides the Powell paint the dark picture when it comes to the economy. So you know, overall, again we got. You know, the White House administration still see V-shaped recovery, right? When the others are not seeing that recovery as a V-shape, rather like L or maybe something like this. Anyway, overall, I don't know if it's just the profit taking. That's what we are going to get later this week or very beginning next week. So I don't know if it's only profit taking or something more, but the dollar is a little bit stronger and the indices are a little bit weaker. Let's start with the DAX, and something we were discussing, the close, and market was unable this week to get back above 13,000, and we've seen market is a little bit weaker. So for sure we are going to test the top of the previous consolidation around or below 12,500, and it's better visible from the intraday perspective, 30-minute chart, right? And here we have a possibility for the, in my opinion, stop count below the pink line over here, right? And retest the levels we discussed a second ago based on the weekly chart. So for sure that could be the case. Also that could be one-to-one move, and if you are doing your own research, if you are doing your own homework, you know what I'm talking about. So now, what and how can we try to join that party if you are not yet, right? I think that retest of this particular zone, sorry guys, I think retest of this level, right, 12,770, so based on my chart, so the breakout level over here, we might see slow recovery towards this point, 12,770 if you are not in yet, right? Some may try in the middle at 50% of that big candle, but well, you know, the volatility is a little bit higher. End of the month flow right now, so based on that, I would rather wait for you know, higher levels here when it comes on the DAX. If you are not in, if you are in, then again you are looking for as a target, you are looking for the lower levels, looking for the stop count below 12,530, right? Maybe towards the weekly levels close to 12,400 based on my chart. That's how I see the DAX index. Nasdaq, as I mentioned, we are going to get tech giants earnings report later today, and we have another rejection, right guys? So we spent some time. That's the final stop count above equal double top, right? That's something may happen in the future. But what's going on right now, we are discussing this week open and previous week open, right? And right now market is trying to reject again. So if that's the case, based on the daily chart, if we are going to double the move again, 50% of that particular demand zone, right? So the levels close to 1 second, blindly a bit. Yeah, 9,960. So shy below 10,000. That's where the first demand could emerge, right? So how can we try to join the party to the downside? Because, well, again, is just the update, right? You have to watch earlier videos to get the full point eventually if you haven't yet. So slowly we might reach that point. So if you are a buyer, you wanna step back, reconsider, and look for a better entry, right? If you are a seller, well, what I'm going to look for previous week open. If you are not yet, then that's probably your selling zone in between 10,650 and 10,670 when it comes to the intraday chart for now. If necessary, of course, I'm going to make afternoon update around the US cash market open. So gloomy picture done by Fed. The German GDP is not is weaker what the market was expecting, and we started the Europe open with the soft and weak market sentiment when it comes to the indices. All right, now dollar post FOMC, the bigger winner the dollar is versus the Australian dollar. We spent some time analyzing the Australian dollar, so overall congratulations to all the sellers around the top area after the stop count. Of course, there was another stop count post FOMC. Overall, Asia brought, some, well, we can call it profit taking for now, nothing else. That's the truth, right? That's the profit taking only for now. First target been reached almost, right? 17,115, 1790, that's the first target. But I think market may want to look for more stops to the downside. And then the crucial is going to be levels close to 70.40 and 70 levels, right? So this zone could be the key. Because as long as the bulls are staying above 70 psychological level, the whole move might be treated as a profit-taking correction, nothing else, right? If you are a bull when it comes to the Australian dollar, yeah, you wanna see some stop count to the downside and rejection, right? So yeah, I would watch this 70, 70 psychological level, because we might get this type of the move to the downside, right? So again, reconsider, don't chase the price, watch for the run numbers, bigger picture, bigger time frame. That's gonna be the key. So sellers in chart short term, looking for lower levels. If you are in, you are probably took some profits around this target. The next one 70, 40, 70. If you wanna join the party, I think levels close to 71. 75 to renew, and that could be the case when it comes to the intraday trading of the Australian dollar versus US dollar, right? Now the next one, euro dollar, reacted based on the weekly and daily chart. We also discussed, but no fireworks here yet, right? So not big pullback. So if you are a euro fan, or if you want a euro from the short side, then probably looking for a different crosses could be the solution. The one my favorite is upside when it comes to the euro Aussie. We will discuss it, so just the update. We right now trying to move above the weekly open. All right, so from the intraday perspective, I would look for base of 50% of that base from the Tokyo session. So we are talking about the levels close to 64.30, 64.20, and looking for higher levels, right? So that's when you euro buyer, right? If you are a euro seller, probably EURJPY could be the solution here. We are fighting around the swing high. All right, we have some lower highs keys. Of course, we didn't make lower low yet, okay, and that might be preparation for the upside break. But you know, I would take into the consideration the overall sentiment, overall rally, and some kind of the profit taking that it's possible. So in that case, I'm going to switch lower based on the break of this late New York, early Tokyo consolidation. I'm going to retest of 123.70 as a selling opportunity. All right, I'm gonna look for 123 as a first target, 123.10, 123, and the second, if we are going to break 123, then I'm going to look for 122.10, 122 level when it comes to the EURJPY. Okay, also when it comes to the weaker sentiment, I'm watching very carefully what is going on the pound yen. I like pound yen to the downside, all right, watching the reaction when it comes to the daily chart and those lower shadows over here. We've seen first reaction, we've seen the pullback, we retest the previous supply. After the breakout, it was the demand, so we got the retest and we're ready to move lower. But overall, we have to see the pound weakness, which we haven't quite seen yet, right? Even with currently negative sentiment when it comes to the indices, pound cable is trying to hold the ground. Well, we'll see the reaction around the Tokyo high and the daily open. So looking for stops, looking for an upper shadow closed below, and that could be the setup for overall pound weakness. Guys, that was my pleasure to make post FOMC, post German GDP market update. We are awaiting US GDP, we are awaiting weekly jobless claims, as well as tech giants earnings report. Guys, be careful, don't be trapped, and stay tuned, and we are going to make another update around the US cash open. Take care and goodbye.